When will the rapture take place? The question of all questions among Christians in various denominations of Christianity. The most popular viewpoint being that Jesus will come and snatch away the church before a 7-year tribulation of hell on earth, which is more popularly known as the secret rapture. And then the more reformed view, or the one that most of the early Reformation or reformers held to, was the post-tribulation rapture, that the church is going to actually go through a 7-year tribulation. That was the view that was most held by most of the reformers and the early church fathers, and is actually starting to gain ascendancy again with I've noticed within the last, say, 2 to 3 years. And then we have the preterist view, we have the full preterism, and then we have partial preterism. Full preterism, personally, I believe is totally ridiculous. They say Jesus came back during the time of 70 AD when Nero invaded Jerusalem and the temple was destroyed. To the Jewish mind, it's the end of the world. And they say Jesus spiritually returned and we entered into the 1,000-year millennial reign, which we are in currently. I think that is a bit of a ridiculous viewpoint. You cannot shove all the events of the end times into that small period of time in history. Then we have partial preterism, which I've begun to lean more towards, where it says that most of the events that Jesus spoke of on the Mount of Olives, when the disciples asked him, when will the end come? Most of the events Jesus mentioned there, I believe, did happen up until during the time of 70 AD, but there are still a lot of other events that still need to take place. So it could not have all happened during that time. So the question of questions is, when will the rapture take place? There's another popular view that you're going to see, listen to what I'm saying, it's going to start to arise from next year onwards, and it's a new view. It's not really new. It has been taught by a very minority group of biblical teachers, but it is the viewpoint that we will all sort of just individually transcend, or reach a level of ascension, and we will just sort of change in the twinkling of an eye. Individually in our Christian walk, they say that we're gonna, it's almost like a sprint into another dimension. There's a whole nother theory. You're gonna see it become very popular. Mark my words, you'll remember what I said. And honestly, I'm not here to be a critique of it, but the question of questions is, when will the rapture take place? And I have the best answer for you, and it is the most spiritually sane viewpoint, if I can put it that way. I have done a lot of extensive studies on different viewpoints, and the one I mentioned that's going to become the more popular one in the next few years sounds pretty marvelous. It's got a lot to do with the manifest sons of God, Romans 8:19. That we will all sort of individually progress into a place of glorification. It needs a lot more explanation, which I cannot do on this video, but the best answer, when will the rapture take place, is I don't know.